out of captivity in places that they are being unjustly detained. Thank you.
Thanks, Jake. Okay, I know the president's going to have an event shortly. The pool's going to have to gather, so we'll take a few questions.
On the special counsel interview, did the president answer all the questions that were asked during the interview? And was the executive privilege should be voted at any time? I know there's limits on what you can say.
I mean, come on, people.
So look, my colleague at the White House Council put out a statement yesterday for providing an update of where we are with this particular interview and the special counsel. Obviously, I'm just not going to go beyond what my colleague has shared. If you have any,
You gotta listen to this woman.
Referring to Department.
Come on, press. Come on, Steve. That's a stupid question.
For the record, though, we understand the president's interview with Special Counsel Robert Hur was scheduled long before the time began. Especially we're being told by people there's the White House. Did the president and his legal team ever ask for the interview to be rescheduled, given what transpired this week?
So again, Ed, I'm not going to go beyond the statement from the White House counsel, and you all know and have seen for yourself. The president spoke this is the second time he's spoken about Israel in the last couple of days.
Yeah. Took him 72 hours.
How focused he's been on what has happened. He's shown his leadership over the horrific events over the weekend in Israel. And look, we disclosed the interview. We put that out in a statement from the White House counsel, from my colleague at the White House counsel. And the president is obviously was intensely engaged. He spoke to many of our allies, whether the King of Jordan, the leaders of Italy, France, Germany, and the UK. And he met, and as I said at the top, he met with our national security team over a dozen times. And he spoke to Bibi, Prime Minister Netanyahu, to be more precise, the third time today, so twice over the weekend. So he's been very much focused on the issues of the horrific events that we have seen in Israel. The president is able to do multiple things at once. As president, he has to do multiple things at once. And that's what you saw him do this weekend.
The president's need to be interviewed by the special counsel yesterday impede or keep him from giving the remarks he gave today, yesterday. Press officer certainly knows there was a lot of inquiry, concern, and criticism that perhaps he was not publicly engaged yesterday as he possibly could have been. It was a federal holiday. There was some respect for decision made to not hold public events on the federal holiday. Clearly, he was doing a big thing by meeting with special counsel. There's any reason to believe that impeded his ability to respond publicly.
Well, as you just said, Ed, presidents have to do multiple things at once.
Yeah, but he can't.
When we learned, all of you were reporting, and it was incoming of what was happening in Israel. He spoke today. Obviously, there were multiple statements from this president. I just mentioned he met with his national security team dozens of times. He did multiple calls with heads of states to trying to make sure that we got the support, continued that support, organized support of other allies and partners across the world. And we put out a statement as well, a joint statement from those allies.
Yeah, but he had a barbecue.
The president was very much engaged in showing his leadership and also how we're going to continue to support Israel.
Yeah.
That's how we're gonna move forward. And again, the president has to handle many things at once.
Like what? Sleep?
Over the past couple of days, since Saturday.
And said that he will urge Congress to act quickly on Israel aid. Obviously, Ukraine aid is also still outstanding. Is there a preferred pathway forward from this on how both of those things can happen, given the situation on Capitol Hill right now?
Look, Jake Sullivan spoke to this a little bit about when he was asked about the aid. Look, and he said it much better than I'm about to say, which is how important.
Yeah, because you're a woman, you haven't met in years.
As they are fighting for freedom, as they're fighting the aggression from Russia, it is important that we continue to do that because doing that now cost benefit of it now, it's so important to do it now than to allow Putin's, the people like Putin.
Okay.
Right? It is important that we continue to focus on making sure that Ukraine has everything that they need, that they bravely fighting for their freedom and for their democracy. And we're going to continue to certainly move forward, as you've heard.
Well, I wish I could be a reporter.
Additional assistance. Both of those things are incredibly important. Both of those things need to move forward. Both of the things, as Jake said, we are able and can do as the United States. I'm not going to talk about our strategy. We're going to certainly, as Jake said, the R&D director is going to lay that out. We're going to figure out the best path forward. I'm just not going to go into details on how that's going to happen.
Officials had any conversations with lawmakers about potentially speeding up the House speakership race?
I'm not going to get involved in the House speakership race. That is something, again, as I've said many times, as we have said many times, the House, as you know, is the majority goes to the Republicans. It is their path, it is their process to figure out who is going to be the speaker. Certainly, we want that to get done so that we can move forward with the business of the American people. But I'm not going to get into the congressional process from here. I'm trying to see who has not. Go ahead, Gary. I know you haven't.
There have been some clashes across the country and demonstrations amongst protesters in the aftermath of what's happening in Israel. How concerned is the administration that these clashes could turn violent? And do you have a message for demonstrators more broadly?
So look, I mean, Jake also spoke to our focus and our the importance of making sure that the Jewish community here is protected, making sure that there aren't acts of violence. We're always going to denounce any act of violence against any community.
Oh,
so
no.
Continue to show our support and going to be vigilant on that. Don't have anything else to go beyond that, but we are certainly monitoring, keeping an eye on all of this,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to continue to support the community.
What about the squad?
We have to start. We have to get the.
What is the president's message to?
Okay, the pool should start leaving, and then we're going to take this last question.
I agree. What is the president's message to members of Congress who seem to be equating the Hamas terror attack with actions that were previously taken by Israel?
Say that one more time. Everybody's moving on. I apologize.
What is the president's message to members of Congress who seem to be equating the Hamas terror attack with actions that were previously taken by Israel?
Look, here's the thing, and which congressional members?
Some members of Congress who have called for a ceasefire, and they have not gone as far as backing the administration's call for support for Israel.
So look, I've seen some of those statements this weekend, and we're going to continue to be very clear. We believe they're wrong. We believe they're repugnant, and we believe they're disgraceful. Our condemnation belongs squarely with terrorists who have
Well,
raped, kidnapped hundreds of Israelis. There can be no equivocation about that. There are not two sides here. There are not two sides. President Biden has been clear on where he has stood. You heard from him directly today. You heard from him also on Saturday on this. There's been multiple statements from this president, and he's taking action to provide additional support to ensure that Israel has what they need to defend themselves. All right. Okay. Go ahead. And then last question, and then we'll be back to you.
Yesterday, the president said he was putting police departments on high alert. Can you guarantee that members of the Muslim diaspora or immigrant communities can still feel safe, can still exercise their civil liberties and exercise their criticism of Israel's behavior? Was that part of the conversations, and can you assure those communities?
I don't have any details of the conversation, but obviously the president is going to be, we're always going to denounce any form, any type of violence, and certainly to keep communities safe. That is something we'll be vigilant about. Thank you very much. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Well, the knucklehead White House press secretary didn't call in Fox News because you know what? They are afraid to answer the question. They won't answer the question. We all know that Iran is the state sponsor of terror against Hamas. They've been doing it for decades. So So basically, the people say, "Well, we don't use. They didn't use the $6 billion." But let me explain what is going on with that situation. The Biden administration, when they came into office, got rid of the sanctions against Iran with the oil. So it's been 2 years. Iran has been making a lot of money with the oil for Russia and China. So we all know Hamas is the arm of the Iranian regime. And then we had, before this woman knucklehead came into office, we had Let's Go Brandon. Joe Biden did a speech saying that, I was in Israel decades ago to talk to one woman. I mean, really? Here's the thing. We have 14 Americans that are dead now. 14. We have many others might be hostage. And this president is not sending any special forces to go get them. He says the responsibility of him is to keep Americans safe. Well, he did a damn good job on that one. Afghanistan, the 11 soldiers that were killed, pull out. Nobody got fired over that. Nobody went to jail for that. And now it's been confirmed by the State Department that 14 Americans have died so far. So he didn't answer any questions. Now, if I was asking questions, I would say, Mr. President, we all know that Iran is a state-sponsored terror with the Hamas. Are you going to demand more sanctions against that country? And Mr. President, why are you still talking to these people about the Iranian nuclear deal after they are sponsoring terrorists in the Middle East? You won't answer that question. He didn't answer any questions. You had Let's Go Brandon. Then you got Hills Kamala Harris. Didn't say a word, wearing that stupid ass suit. And then you got the Secretary of State Blinken that wants to have a ceasefire. I mean, oh boy. So yes, I know a lot of people will say, hey, you know what? Sometimes you just gotta be what you're gonna be. But here's the thing, and I want to talk about this seriously. If you mess with Israel, everybody's going to try to go against it. It's in the end times, ladies and gentlemen. The Bible says all the countries are going to go against my Jewish state. He said that in the Bible, in the book of Revelations. I'm just saying, this are the end times, ladies and gentlemen. And now, we have these Palestinians protest. They're saying praises for the Hamas to kill innocent Israelis. And then I could go on with the squad. I don't want to talk to them. They're a bunch of. Well, they're a combination of a B word and a C word. Contains with the squad. The squad. So we had nonsense Joe Biden, then we had the woman, White House press secretary. They didn't answer any real questions about what's going on. And I stand by Israel 100%. BB, go ahead and kick some ass. Go ahead and kick some ass and destroy Hamas. Now, a lot of people say, hey, why are you going to do that? Israel announced that, hey, all the citizens of Gaza, if you're not a terrorist, I recommend you leave. because he's gonna bomb the shit out of them. I'm just saying, he's gonna bomb the shit out of them, and then he has the right to do that. He has the right to do that. This is worse. This is worse than the 1973 war. And Joe Biden and the administration is doing nothing about it. And like I said before, and I'm going to say it again, we have American hostages now. It reminds me of 1979, Iran, Jimmy Carter, and yes, Joe Biden is worse than Jimmy Carter. He doesn't care. Oh, by the way, speaking of doing a hostage, he paid $6 billion to get those free from Iran. $6 billion. $6 billion. And then they say, well, and then the administration said, well, they didn't use $6 billion for the attack. I'm sorry. Iran gave Hamas over billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. You tell me Hamas don't have, they got weapons. I mean, I'm just getting sick and tired of this BS. So, once again, I'm going to get out of here, but I just want to say, I stand with the Jewish state of Israel. I don't care if black people don't like it. I don't care. You mess with my Jewish state. When you do that, we're going to find you. Well, Israel's going to find you. I mean, I wish I could go in there right now. And by the way, oh, Joe Biden. Then Joe Biden said, oh, we should end the Ford out there. Ain't going to do anything about that. He said that kind of carry it to near the Israel, trying to scare Hamas. Hamas don't care. I'm just saying. They're a scare tactic that way. You know, he's giving money to Iran. Okay, guys. Thank you for the rants. Sorry if I couldn't get Let's Go Brandon. I was trying to do that. I had something to do. But, guys, stay strong. Pray for the citizens of Israel. Pray for our American hostages. Pray for the family of these hostages. And also pray for the 14 Americans that died because of a terrorist attack. Oh, before I leave, the drive-by media is not calling these knuckleheads terrorists. They're not calling them terrorists. You should be ashamed of yourself, drive-by media. Now, I want to get some flack about that one. I don't care. Guys, y'all have a wonderful day.